I will say, okay, I watched me and Red together. We both watched X-Men 97 last night. First two episodes. Obviously, because there's first two episodes. If you don't know what X-Men 97 is, it's the latest animation show from Marvel, and it's a direct lead on from the original X-Men shows, the original X-Men cartoon series, the animated series from the early 90s. And I'm not going to go spoiling anything. I'm not going to talk about in depth or anything. But dude, what a show. What a show so far. It's amazing. It's really, really good. You know, it feels nostalgic. It feels like the show hasn't been away for long. Like the show, I think the show last aired was about 96, I think 97, ironically, I think, and like it feels like the show has just literally, obviously it's picked up from where it was, but it's just like picked up from when the show ended. It just feels like, do when shows have like a year gap between a series and then it comes on? That's what it kind of feels like. It doesn't feel like it's been like almost, was it 20? Is it 20 years now, or is it nearly 30 years? It must be nearly 30 years, right? Oh, it might be 30 years. 94, 04, 14. Yeah, bloody hell. 13 years. 30 years since the original X-Men series came out. Bloody hell. Yeah, it feels like a year has gone since that show's been away, not 30 years. And my God, it's incredible. It's so good. Now, I will say, the thing that mostly throws me about the show is the animation style, because back in the day, we didn't really get that much facial movement from cartoons, just because of the animation style back in the day. But now it's like you get full facial animation from it as well. It's weird to say, more expression in the face, and it's something you could get used to. But if you like me and Red, who've like grew up with like the original X-Men series, it does throw you off a bit. But you look at it, just go, it's good. The opening sequence, the opening intro, is slamming. It's really, really good. It throws you off a bit because, there's a few extra faces in there that wasn't in the original opening. Like, we all know the original opening. It's basically the same. It's just it's just a few changes here and there, which is a good thing. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That shit me up then. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the theme, the X-Men, the theme, it's the same theme but modernized, and I like it. I really, really like it, and it's so fun. It's so much fun, and the first episode felt like really nostalgic X-Men that we all knew and loved back in the day, and then episode 2 is it's still the same thing, but modernized in a way. It's the only way I can describe it. It's modernized, but it has that extra intensity, that extra feel, and I think I pretty much had a smile on my face all the way through it. It was freaking awesome. It was so good, and I cannot complain. I cannot complain about the show. I can't remember how many episodes there. I think it's like 8 to 10 episodes of the show. So I'm excited and ready to go for the. Oh, you're in VC. Hello, buddy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, it's alright. I was just talking about the new X-Men series.
Oh, the X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Have you watched it?
Been meaning to, not gotten around to it.
Well, we haven't been talking much about it. Like, we've only been talking about like how it feels and how it goes and whatnot. And it's good. It's so good.
Glad to hear.
It's really good. I will say, I have been looking at social media, obviously, and I have seen, Sassy Bear, the man, the myth, the bear, the legend. Give him a follow if you haven't done so yet. And like, you know, there's a lot of shit online right now, specifically around one character.
Right, is it the character I think it is?
Morph.
I fucking thought so.
Right. So yeah. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, all right, that Disney and Marvel have somewhat gone woke because they have gender neutralized Morph. However,
I will also clarify one thing.
Who's that?
One thing I will clarify. Oh, that's just me. Sorry.
Sorry, I thought that was Zach that jumped in. That.
It's basically it's just sort of my way to being like sort of like closer to the mic kind of thing. But in case you weren't paying attention to the original animated series of X-Men, that was also kind of woken away. So to those that are saying, "Oh, this new X-Men is woke," it's like it always was woke.
Yeah, like what, again, when people say about Morph being like he's gender neutralized by Disney and stuff like that, it's not the case at all. Morph is a character that can morph into anything, and we don't really know what his actual true form is.
He was non-binary by origin. He was gender neutral by origin. It wasn't a complete decision of Disney and all that. If people paid attention to the fucking source material, the comics, they would fucking know he was originally gender neutral. But you could really tell the difference between the people that were fans of the original. You got the ones that actually knew about the fucking source material, and then you got the ones that just stare at Rogue's ass and be like, thumbs up. And...
I'll get onto that in a bit. I'll get onto that now. And like, you know, I think this version of Morph that we've got now, I think this is the actual true form of Morph that they've dived into. And you know, I'm all for it. It's still the same character. He just looks different. I mean, they all look different. They just all look older.
Yeah.
And you know, which is weird to say because they're all like, it's like a couple months after the original series finishes. And like, like, you know, people on the internet, as they do, the keyboard warriors, are like, you know, we've already talked to death about Morph. We've also established as well that there are people out there that are like, I don't like what they've done. I don't like what they've done with Rogue. She isn't as curvy as she once was in the original. And for me, I'm just like, it's a fucking comic book. Like, did you not see everyone in the comic books? Everyone looked like that.
I have seen,
you know,
I've seen the characters in all forms, really. I've seen them in not just the original animated series, but in like other iterations of the animated series, and there were changes. There were, of course, changes, and case in point, the curves on Rove, slight change, but at least then you're not focusing down there, and you're more focusing up fucking there where her eyes are. So there you go.
Like,
fucking perverts.
like for me, I couldn't give a fuck if Rose was skinny, fat, had big boobs, had small boobs. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't care. Like, all I care about is the show and how good it is.
Leave us curvy girls alone.
Leave us curvy girls alone. You know, and
it doesn't matter. Look, as long as the characters, pretty much intact, that's all that really fucking matters.
It did make me laugh as well that when people online are like, X-Men is too political and whatnot. That's what the X-Men was created. It is political.
It always was political.
It was always.
It was literally like everyone against the fucking mutants. Basically, Trump. It's basically like the modern edition. Sorry, the modern equivalent to like you got all the inclusive lot who are like, all inclusive, which is essentially what the X-Men kind of were back then. And then what the fucking people that were against mutants were like back then, the X-Men are kind of like Trump's armies now. The fucking racists and bigots and all that jazz.
The Friends Against Humanity. Is it the Friends of Humanity?
Something to that.
The FOH.
The foe.
In a way, it's true. It is very true, and like, watch the series tonight, Sass. Okay.
Nice.
All right, and then watch episode 2 immediately. All right, and just watch it. You will know what I'm laughing at.
Yeah.
About it, and I guarantee you will text me and said, "I see what you mean now."
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's funny because X-Men depicts real life, and
it was like for a source material that is obviously completely fiction. It was very ahead of its fucking time, and in a weird way, it's kind of like viewed an aspect of society which is kind of a bit common now. Like I said, the inclusive lot were just kind of like the mutants in X-Men.
Yeah,
because they were always judged for like them being mutants and having powers and shit, and then we're like, what's wrong with that?
There's a lot of similarities with the X-Men compared to real life. And when you watch X-Men '97, it does hit home. Like, as a kid, you don't really care. Like, this is a thing. This is a kids show, all right. If your kids were watching this, your kids would be like, "This is fucking awesome," you know. The X-Men are back, mutants, and as an adult, you like grew up with these characters, and you're looking at it, going, "Yeah, you understand why Stan Lee created this." I think it was Stan. Was it Stanley? Was Stanley and somebody else created the X-Men? And
possibly, yeah.
Oscar watches it with Red, and he loves it. He loves it. To him, it's a cartoon.
So technically, there was actually two creators for X-Men. One of them was Stan Lee.
Yeah.
The other was Jack Kirby.
That's the one, Jack Kirby. I knew there was somebody else there. I forgot what the name was.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a combined effort of like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
But yeah, like it's crazy to think that 30 years ago the original series came out, and now we've got this gem of a show.
I know, right?
And it's absolutely fantastic. It is so good.
I definitely want to check it out, because the minute I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, I'm getting on that. The minute that comes out,
all the original voice actors are in it.
Nice.
All the original voice actors are in it. There's a new composer for the theme, but it's the same theme but modernized.
Nice.
There will be a few things, like I said, there'll be a few things throwing it. Like full face animation is what they've got now, compared to what they didn't have like 30 years ago.
Right.
So that'll throw you off a bit, and the opening title will throw you off a little bit. That's literally it.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen the original series, if you haven't seen the original X-Men, just watch it anyway. It's great. It's so
It is
good.
great. It is absolutely great.
But if you've seen the original animated series of the X-Men and you're going to watch this, get ready for not only a nostalgia trip, but you're gonna look at it and go, "Wow, this is like this is something my kids would enjoy watching." So that's all I gotta say about that.